What's happening? It's your boy Bbot, and today we will be building a production-grade transactional email service using AWS Simple Email Service and React Email. This package will be provided in the MonoKit boilerplate that we've been building. There's a survey link in the description. If you don't mind filling it out, that'll mean a lot to me so that I can shape the future of this boilerplate, and you'll be notified as well when it launches. Enjoy the video. To get started, you're going to want to go to the GitHub URL in the video description and clone it, and then you'll be presented with the following file structure. This is a monorepo that has been spun up using Turbo CLI, and inside of it we have a singular Next.js app, which is using the app router system. We have an API route defined to facilitate the sending of emails, and this pulls in an email service, which is defined over here. Something important to note is that the types contain the template names and the dynamic variables associated with those templates. And whenever you add a new template and a variable, you must add them here so that you ensure type safety across your application. Then we just have a send email client-side component, which just hits this endpoint and notifies us if it was successful or not. I'll show you how this looks in a bit. If you're familiar with Turbo Repo, you'll know about the packages folder, which is essentially just shared packages for your various apps. Here is our email package. And we're actually using React Email for the templating system. This is a great library to keep your emails compatible across the various clients and allows you to write in a familiar syntax. So you can write your UI and the emails all in React and then build them to HTML and text formats. I can't stress enough how great this library is, and that's why I decided to go with it for this package. Then inside here is where our templates are actually defined. We just have one, a welcome email, and two things to note. One is the base URL. When you send emails, the images won't be embedded in the email itself. They'll need to pull from a remote server. So usually people upload these to CloudFront or S3, but a simpler method is just to go into your app's public folder, upload your assets here, and then adjust this logic so that when you build your emails locally, it'll just basically replace with a string, empty string value, and then it'll grab it from the static folder over here. And then when it's actually deployed, you'll want to just replicate that file structure into the public folder, and you're done. Inside utils is just the create attribute function. This is the second thing to note. The create attribute function basically is a simple function that just replaces any input string with the handlebars format. And this is actually what AWS looks to replace the value with a dynamic variable. And this is how you use it. There's the name of the dynamic variable. Then inside source, we just have a couple of utils. The AWS utils are to do things like upload the templates as well as delete them. We have a CI specific function here, which basically checks that the templates have been modified by comparing it to the main branch, and then it'll run the sync. If not, it'll just skip over it. Manifest is actually where we define our templates. So there's the template name, there's the subject. Here's our outputs, both HTML and text. Text is just supported by AWS for legacy servers. It'll fall back to text if the server doesn't support HTML. But these are quite rare these days, so it's just more to support some legacy systems. Finally, we have the attributes, which are the dynamic variable names that we want to actually replace in our templates with anything sent in. Then we have the operations. You can dig further in this code, but this is just to facilitate the syncing of the templates themselves. The templates folder is the output of running React build, and this actually generates these file paths from our template over here. And that pretty much sums up the entire email package. This and the app will need the AWS variables, just two of them, the access key ID and the secret access key, as well as the identity you want to be sending your email from, like mentioned previously. So I'll show you how to do that in the console. Here is our AWS dashboard. Once you create a free account, you'll land over here. And then I'll just take you through the user creation process. So you head over to IAM, and I've already created the users, but I'll show you the user itself. There's the email user. This just allows the user to send emails as well as upload and manage the emails. But by itself, it won't actually be able to do anything until we attach a policy. And there's the policy that I've actually attached with the permission sets associated with it. On the creation of your user, you can create those access keys that are necessary for the environment variables, but you can also do it from security credentials if you don't do that in the beginning. Inside permissions, I'll go take you to the policy. This is also in the I am tab, just in the sidebar here. I've added this JSON permission set in the README, so you can just copy it from there. It's quite permissive. Usually you'd want to split the sending of emails from the managing of the emails, but for the purposes of this demo, I'll just keep it all in one policy and probably violate the principle of least privilege. And yeah, that pretty much sums up the user creation process. Then you populate your variables and we head over to the simple email service dashboard. It'll take you through a couple of things, but there's only certain certain options we actually we're interested in. So identities is one of them. You have to add your domain that you want to be sending emails from. And this will just take you through the adding of various DNS records. Over here, I've also configured a mail from domain. Usually you want to send your emails from a subdomain of your main domain so that any reputation metrics don't get messed up if something happens to your master domain. It's just the preferred way of going about it, and SES makes it really easy to do. Then email templates contains our templates that we've synced with the system. You won't be able to view them in here. You actually won't even be able to delete them. That's why I've provided a delete function in our packages folder. And then lastly, we have configuration sets. This is optional, but something that I've done because any email rendering failures, if something weird is passed into the string value by accident, will actually break the rendering of the email, and AWS will just simply not send it and not notify you. So I've set up a config set. This is actually defined in the code. We can go take a look in the service, and there I've set it to use this configuration set. So if anything happens on the sending of the email and it breaks, then it'll actually notify me. And then we actually need to set where that's going to go to. So we created an SNS topic, notify render failure. And this will basically, I'll take you to the dashboard for this to show you how it looks as well. We've created a topic over here, email rendering failure, and we have a subscription. So it'll be sending to this email for anything that breaks. And we've then subscribed that configuration set to this topic. I'll publish a link in the description as well, how to go about this whole process, because it can be a little bit confusing. So that pretty much sums up the AWS side of things. I'm going to take you into actually using this day to day. I'm running both my app and my email package on different ports, of course. And this is how our front end looks, just to send emails. This is the email address you want to be sending to. Inside your simple email service, if you do not have production access yet, so you'll see inside here, you actually need to request production access. Then you'll need the email addresses that you want to send to as a verified identity. They just do this while you're waiting for production access. Once you get that, you'll be able to send to anyone. But this is obviously just for security purposes, so no one abuses the system or anything. And then secondly is the dynamic value that we want to replace inside the template. The React email front end, this is where you develop your emails, and you can just try the different, just refresh that, you have different response sizes for everything. This is just the string value that will just be replaced when the template is rendered. And yeah, this all has hot reload. It's really great, great user experience to build using this front end. So we can just go ahead, once you've populated all your variables in the file, you can just try test sending email. You should be notified if it's successful and receive a toast. And then that pretty much sums up how to test this whole package and that your whole system is working. And then you can use this in production. So there you have it. That's how to create a production grade transactional email service using AWS SES and React Email. This is kind of a preview for a monorepo boilerplate that we've been building. And this package, as well as several other packages, will be provided to be able to build web apps for almost any use case at a production enterprise startup, any scale. So yeah, hope this has been helpful and provides a good insight into the future of the MonoKit boilerplate. Cheers. I'll see you guys soon.